Tonight at 9 on Fox 43 News.
A woman's warning to others after she tests positive for coronavirus. What she wants everyone to know when they are in big groups, especially young people.
Tonight at 9 on Fox 43 News. Storm Track First Forecast, sponsored by Gary County Convention and Visitors Bureau.
An isolated shower popping up over central parts of the state this evening, but most of the area just partly cloudy. And as we head later and later into the evening and overnight, we're going to be looking at a partly cloudy to mostly cloudy sky for a while, and then clear back out toward morning as we drop down into the low 70s to start the day. Another muggy day on tap for tomorrow. How the rain chances are shaping up for the week ahead, a look at that's coming up. Fox 43 News at 9 starts now.
Now at 9, a fire causing a building to be a total loss overnight. What caused the fire to this shed? And
I used to think like, oh, it's not going to be any big deal. I'm young, I'll be fine. And I'm just not fine. I'm still not fine.
A woman's warning after getting coronavirus at the age of 26. Why she's urging young people to take the virus seriously. And
you go back and you're like, well, how am I as a rider?
Summer school looking different for people in Topeka, not because of coronavirus, but for the need for speed. How this class is teaching kids skills on and off the track. But first, we start with breaking news. The Riley County Police Department is asking for help locating a missing boy. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Mackenzie Davis. The Riley County Police Department is looking for this 10-year-old Patrick. Police say he's been missing from a house in the 4900 block of 59th Avenue in Riley County. He was last seen in undergarments and no shirt. Now, a number of emergency services are actively looking for him. Please call 911 or this number on your screen. That's 785-537-2112 if you spot him. Now, he may be scared, so be gentle and keep him in sight until first responders show up. Tonight, a local woman is sharing her experience with the coronavirus, saying everyone should be taking the virus seriously, even young people. Fox 43 News reporter Kelly Peltier is live from Central to Topeka to tell us why.
Yeah, Mackenzie, Hannah McDowell is 26 years old and tested positive for the coronavirus here at Cotton O'Neill's testing site. She told me she never thought she would test positive for the virus because she's young, but she found out she was wrong. And tonight she's encouraging others her age to start taking the virus seriously so they don't have to test positive as well. When the coronavirus pandemic started, reports said it mainly targeted older people who had underlying conditions. But now a recent CNN study says the trend across the nation is changing, affecting more younger people.
I used to think like, oh, it's not going to be any big deal. I'm young, I'll be fine. And I'm just not fine. I'm still not fine.
Why? Well, they say it could be because stay-at-home orders are lifted, allowing more younger people to hang out in groups and go to the bars. That trend is true here in Shawnee County. Right now, the group most affected by the virus is people between the ages of 25 and 34, making up 151 of the 747 total cases, which now includes Hannah McDowell. She's 26 and lives a healthy and active lifestyle and never expected to test positive. She says she got the virus from hanging out with a group of close friends over Father's Day weekend.
It didn't break my heart for me because I instantly was brokenhearted because I thought about everybody I had been in contact with. That was the scariest part, I think.
She says for the first 5 days after the weekend gathering, she felt her normal self, aside from what she thought was some seasonal allergies.
I felt wonderful. Though my week was fine. All week long, I went to my job. I exercised.
Then one Saturday while at a bonfire, she found out other people who were at the gathering on Father's Day weekend had tested positive for the coronavirus. That's when her symptoms started to change.
And it was that night when I was like, I can even smell the fire. I'm like, did you guys smell the fire? I'm like, this is weird.
For her, the lack of smell and taste was the final straw, so she got tested. The test, positive. 7 days into her symptoms, she felt the worst.
Was when the body aches came, the fever, the shortness of breath,
as well as nausea and a lack of appetite. Now, nearly 2 weeks into isolation from friends and family, she's urging people around her age to follow recommended safety guidelines.
It's not a joke. It's not funny. The parties you go to aren't worth it.
To help slow down the spread of the coronavirus.
It's horrible. Doesn't matter who you are. It'll take you down and it'll keep you down for a long time, and it sucks.
Now, today is the day the Shawnee County Health Department told Hannah she could get out of isolation if she was without symptoms for 3 days in a row and off medication. But Hannah told me that hasn't happened yet, so she's not exactly sure when she'll get back to her regular life. Live in Central Topeka, Kelly Peltier, Fox 43 News.
All right, thanks, Kelly. Well, here in Kansas, health officials say we now have more than 16,000 positive coronavirus cases. Across the state, we've seen 283 deaths and more than 10,000 recoveries. And to get a better understanding of how the outbreak in Kansas is progressing, take a look at this graph. It shows the 14-day average for the number of daily new cases. You can see the trend has gone up in the state over the past several days. Well, it's quite a warm day to round up our holiday weekend. Finally, I mean, I was waiting for all that rain to go away.
And, you know, for the most part, it did today. We had a couple of isolated showers out there, but most of the area stayed dry and a really pretty sunny. The good news is we've got more nice sunshine ahead. Bad news is for those who aren't like Mackenzie, don't love the really hot weather, it is going to get hotter as the week goes on. A couple of isolated showers west of Salina right now. Otherwise, just some scattered clouds out there this evening and most of tonight. Maybe a stray shower to the west early tomorrow. The better chance, though, is that we'll see a few isolated showers and storms start to redevelop during the afternoon tomorrow. They'll be hit and miss. Temperatures right now, 70s and 80s across the state. 82 degrees currently in Topeka. It's 80 at Manhattan, Emporia, and Council Grove, and 79 for Marysville and Hiawatha. The dew point's running high as well, generally into the lower to mid 70s over most areas. And so with that fairly humid air in place, temperatures aren't going to cool off substantially tonight. We will continue to try to cool down close to the 70-degree mark. The wind really not a factor out there, and that's kind of a bad thing because when it's muggy, the best thing going for you sometimes is that breeze. Not going to happen tonight. We're going to say very light to calm on the wind, east less than 5 miles per hour, partly cloudy and humid as we drop down to a low around 70 degrees. Another warm start to the day tomorrow. We do heat up even more in the days ahead. Just how hot it gets this week coming up.
Tonight, a teen is dead after an off-road crash early this morning. The crash happened just after 2 this morning on the 318th Road in Jackson County. That's about 50 miles north of Topeka. The Jackson County Sheriff says a UTV was driving down the road next to another UTV. The driver lost control and overturned, ejecting a 13-year-old. The teenager was pronounced dead on scene. The 5 other passengers were taken to Stormont Vale and Sabetha Hospital, some with life-threatening and some with non-life-threatening injuries. Over in Riley County, fireworks are to blame for an early morning fire. Fire officials say this building is a total loss after catching fire this morning. It happened at 3706 High Plains Road in Manhattan. Officials say when crews got there, the fire was fully involved and took hours to put out. The structural loss is estimated at $200,000, along with another $100,000 in content loss. The Riley County Fire Department says fireworks appear to be the cause of the fire. Luckily, no one was hurt. School isn't the first thing some people want to think about in the summer, but for motorcycle students, it might be the best part of their summer and holiday weekend. Fox 43 News reporter Lindley Lund tells us how people are soaking in the last day of Independence Weekend in a bit more exciting activity.
It is a loud day here today at the Heartland Motorsports Park, where motorcycle riders of all ability levels are here showing off their skills. The sound of roaring engines filled South Topeka on Sunday, as over 80 motorcycle riders participated in the St. John 27 Motorcycle Racing School. It's where people can learn how to ride motorcycles.
It's so addicting. That's why we're all here, is because you go back and you're like, well, how am I as a rider? And then you just test yourself and you just want to get better every time.
Angie Jones first came to the school when she started riding 2 years ago, and she says the people are the reason she keeps coming back.
Instructors give you one-on-one time, and you just see yourself improve.
The school helps riders like Jones improve on different skills needed to ride a motorcycle both on and off the track.
As far as safety and and racing performance, and just overall just teaching riders how to control these machines in a safe environment.
The riders are separated by skill level with licensed trainers there to help them with whatever they need.
None of those things like that can create a panic situation. So as the riders are all out here, all they have to do is focus on riding the motorcycles.
And St. John says that it's great this is an event where social distancing can happen, so the riders can fulfill their need for speed. And this event happens every month and is free to come and watch. In Topeka, Lindley Lund, Fox 43 News.
A Christopher Columbus statue being dethroned in Columbus. All that coming up.
As we head into the daytime tomorrow, humid weather early on and hot for the afternoon. Most of the day, like we saw today, sunny to partly cloudy, but also like a few spots saw today, a couple of stray showers can move through. That's certainly the possibility tomorrow. Only about a 20% chance, but if you're underneath one of those 20% chance showers, could pick up a little downpour here and there. Otherwise, how much more will heat through the course of the week is coming up.
You're watching Fox 43 News at 9 with Hannah Brandt, Chief Meteorologist Matt Miller, and Sully Ingalls with sports.
Tensions have been flaring in Connecticut after a statue of Christopher Columbus was decapitated. LaSalle Banks has more.
On the streets,
this is about effecting substantial change.
On the steps of City Hall, even on top of the Christopher Columbus statue. A day of expression in Waterbury. The statue discovered beheaded this morning. Startling to some.
In no way, shape, or form would I ever condone defacing or doing this to a monument.
Not to others.
Honestly, I'm happy. I just feel like it shouldn't be here. I feel like it's disrespectful to the black community.
There is no indication that anyone with the protest was involved.
Some people are frustrated. They feel enough's enough. They want to have this city as theirs too.
I'm of the firm belief that we need to learn from our past and not destroy it.
It's a symbol of hate. It's a symbol of racism.
Protesters also joining groups around the country calling for justice against police brutality. This moment on the Waterbury Green.
All of these roses have the names of victims of police brutality on it.
Mubarak Solomon, 19, West Haven, Connecticut.
But it was the statue that had tensions building throughout the day. Protesters telling News 8 why the Christopher Columbus statues in many cities stoke such fire.
Because we know that he did not discover America. We also know that he's responsible for things like genocide, sex trafficking, slave trade, and actual murder.
What do you mean by that? Because a lot of that is not in the history books.
Well, a lot of our history is never in the history books.
And that was LaSalle Blanks reporting. Well, the Royals are back out on the diamond for summer camp. Still ahead, we'll update you on how the team's looking and their mindset with all the new safety concerns surrounding the sport.
Temperatures will settle back through the 70s with scattered clouds tonight, but we're heating up more throughout the course of the week. Just how much hotter it will be coming up.
Now, your storm track weather with Chief Meteorologist Matt Miller.
A partly cloudy sky for tonight, humid weather in place, and very warm again as we head into the daytime on Monday. Maybe a couple of isolated afternoon showers with thunderstorms popping up. Shouldn't be much out of that. Then looking at a hot week ahead of us and some more late week thunderstorms, and that may be a little better chance for some scattered rains. Right now, scattered clouds at Emporia. Had a beautiful sunset this evening. Now just a little bit of cloud cover, not much wind, and a whole lot of humidity still hanging around in the air. Currently in Topeka, it's 82 degrees, the dew point 71. So it's been uncomfortably humid over the last week and a half with only minor fluctuations to the level of humidity. Saw a high today hit 90, pretty close to the average overall, 72 and 90 for the early week of July. Certainly no records, nothing all that out of the ordinary with a light breeze coming in. Calm to as high as about 5 or 6 miles per hour. Temperature right now 79 degrees at Marysville and Hiawatha, 80 at Forbes Field, 82 at Billard, and it's still 84 degrees at Council Grove with a dew point generally in the lower 70s, a few mid 70s here and there, and definitely makes it feel a little bit warmer than the air temperature. This time of night, the heat index not a major problem, but as we head into the next couple of days and we really don't lose that humidity, it stays, you notice the green shading here, humid to muggy throughout the area again tomorrow. And then we'll head into Tuesday, still looking at some decently high humidity, a little bit more humid maybe on Tuesday afternoon. When you factor that together with a gradual warming trend and humidity at least staying where it is, if not going up slightly during the course of the week, we'll look for a heat index to climb up by noon or 12:30 tomorrow into the 80s to around 90 and then on into the low 90s. Now that's not the air temperature. That's what we expect the heat index to peak out at tomorrow. And then we head into Tuesday, peaking out into the mid to upper 90s for a heat index, and could be a little bit higher than that heading into Wednesday with upper 90s and a few spots getting close to 100. So again, this trend is what we're looking at as it gradually heats up through the week. And with some, every now and then a little disturbance will roll through and help to enhance some of that cloud cover into a stray shower here and there. Otherwise, not really any organized systems across the region. We're just looking for heat-driven pop-up showers, maybe a couple in the morning out to the west. And then as we head through the daytime tomorrow, maybe a couple of those isolated showers popping up during the heat of the day. But it's going to be limited, 20% or so on the chance for that tomorrow. Tonight down to 70 and partly cloudy. High tomorrow 91, partly cloudy with that isolated storm chance. Don't consider it a guarantee for rain. It is more of a stray shower kind of a setup. A few spots may get rained on and many others will not. Low 90s again on Tuesday, mid 90s Wednesday. With enough thunderstorm activity coming in late Thursday or early Friday, temperatures may drop back a few degrees, but then still heating up to about 96 degrees on Saturday, cooling off just a little bit as we head into Sunday. Beautiful sky in Alta Vista from Harvey King, as well as a partly cloudy sky from Lori Martinson and Hiawatha, and a gorgeous sunset near Rossville from Chris Anderson. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Baseball is back in a compact form compared to what fans are used to. 60 games rather than 162. Rule changes and schedule adjustments, not to mention safety concerns galore. Despite all that, if they do get on the field for games this season, the quicker season could play into Kansas City's advantages. Summer camp now in place of spring training under first-year manager Mike Matheny. Still getting used to that. As the team gets ready at the K, the roster looks to be pretty explosive. Speed and power all around, and last year's MLB leader in hits thinks that they can surprise some people.
I think we felt pretty good about our team going into the regular spring training. So, knock on wood, guys are staying healthy, and we navigate through this thing we got going on and keep guys on the field. I think we got a really good chance to do something pretty cool.
One guy already off the field with that thing is Salvador Perez, the thing being coronavirus. He tested positive but is asymptomatic. Safety precautions in place at summer camp, but the way this virus moves, this seemed inevitable. For Merrifield, the concerns with him hit close to home, but when you're a Major League Baseball player or any athlete, you've got another family to think about, and the All-Star feels like they're just as important.
I'm saying this coming from my wife that has a compromised immune system. And there was never a hesitation from her or me about playing this year because she's been with me since high school. She understands what it takes to get to this level. She understands this level is a short window of time. And she also understands that just like I have an obligation to her to be the best husband I can be, to my siblings to be the best brother I can be, and to my parents to be the best son I can be, I have an obligation to those guys in there because those guys are my family as well.
Royals should start July 24th. Official schedule could be out as soon as tomorrow. Besides baseball, plenty else has happened near and far. Here's a quick recap of a few things you might have missed the last week. Kansas football and basketball got a big-time commit. Four-star recruit Keon Coleman from Louisiana. You heard that right. He'll play both sports for the Jayhawks. The 6'4" wide receiver and wingman picked them over Oklahoma. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs saw their first schedule change. First it was 2 preseason games instead of 4. Now it looks like no preseason at all. Official word coming this week. But the first pro football game could be September 10th. Beyond that, the Washington Redskins could be changing their name sometime very, very soon. That's a look at sports. I'll send it back to you, Matt.
Temperatures dropping back down to a low around 70 tonight with a partly cloudy sky. Sunny to partly cloudy and 91 tomorrow. We heat up with the humidity just high enough that we could see a heat-driven thunderstorm during the afternoon, about a 20% chance. Those would be just a few kind of stray showers and storms. Then low 90s on Tuesday, mid 90s ahead by Wednesday. Mackenzie?
Well, a new perfume fragrance just might send you over the moon for romance if you have a wild imagination. A new Kickstarter is fundraising a product called Ode to Space, trying to replicate what it says is the scent of outer space. Notes from astronauts say space had a bitter, smoky, meaty, and metallic smell, and even similarities like fried steak, rum, and raspberries. Kickstarter already raising over $241,000 for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics learning. And Ode to Space. An Ode to Space 4-ounce bottle sells for $29. Man, so if you want to smell like a barbecue pit in outer space, then it's perfect for you. I know I want to smell like a piece of meat and rum and raspberries. Thanks for watching tonight. Have a great night.